Welcome to Sharing the Harvest Community Farm. This is an exciting time of year for us, and today we're going to be planting seeds that in a few short months will be harvested and sent to local hunger relief organizations on the South Coast. This video will show you how we seed at Sharing the Harvest. First, let's take a look at some key supplies that we need before we start seeding. We'll start with a tub full of soil that we get just a little bit wet before we start using it. Next, we'll grab our trays that we'll fill full of soil. Every plant that we start in the greenhouse uses a different kind of tray, and your leader will let you know which one you'll be using today. Every tray is labeled with the name of the plant and today's date, which we'll use to plan where and when the seedlings are moved out into the fields. The next thing we need are these small blue bowls, which we use to make sure that the tiny little seeds don't get lost in the table while we're working. Last but certainly not least, we need our seeds for the day, and your leader will have these ready for you when you get to the greenhouse. Great! We have all of our supplies, and now we're ready to start seeding. The first thing we'll do is prepare our trays. We retrieve our trays from the storage room and separate the ones that are stacked together. Sometimes they'll be a little bit sticky and tricky to separate. As you pull them apart, try to be gentle and discard any trays that are severely ripped or unusable. Once the trays are separated, they're filled with soil and stacked. Scoop the soil over the tray and brush it off until each cell is filled to the top. While the trays are being filled, we can start writing the labels. Your leader will let you know how many are needed and what variety we'll be planting today. We only write as many labels as we'll be planting at a time. The next step is to prepare the actual seeds. Seeds are opened very carefully and poured into the blue bowls. We only use one variety at a time, and any extra is poured back into the seed packet before we start on the next plant. Before we plant the seeds, we need a place for them to go. This step will vary depending on what kind of tray you're using today. Sometimes you'll use a pen to make a hole in each cell, and sometimes you can place one tray on top, push down, and plant in the space it makes, as you see Carolyn doing in the video here. Your leader today will let you know how many seeds should go in each cell on the tray. It's important to make sure that every cell has close to the correct number of seeds in it, because if there are too many, they can compete for resources and may not grow well, and if there are too few, the plant may not grow at all or will be too weak. Once every cell has seeds in it, you can put a label in the tray and bring it back to the soil tub. Scoop the soil on top of the tray and brush off the top, covering each seed and making sure to brush it off again so you can see the plastic around each cell. Once the tray is covered, you can place it on the greenhouse table to finish up. That's it. Those are all the steps for seeding at Sharing the Harvest Community Farm. To recap, the first thing we did was fill the trays with soil. We wrote the labels, made a hole for the seeds, put the seeds in each cell, added a label, covered them up with soil, and put the finished trays on the greenhouse table. Thank you for volunteering, and I hope you have a great time seeding today.